All right, so AJ, that was I can't help but wonder. What did you think of it?
Wonder, was that the name of the song?
I can't help but wonder.
Interesting. That was the name of the song choice as well. That's funny. Well, it was pretty cut and dry, and then you have a little spice at the end that was like, okay, what now? Athena wants to play open arms.
No one's play open. Well, no, that was her character development in the Wisdom Saga, right? Like she worked with Telemachus, and then came back to it, and she expressed like regret of how the relationship ended, and her talks with Telemachus eventually led her to go like look into where Odysseus happened, and then she fought with Zeus over his imprisonment, and then got him released. So this is kind of the payoff to her.
I mean, poor Calypso.
Yeah, poor Calypso. I don't think Calypso's the victim here, AJ. I gotta be honest. Like, I like Calypso. I sympathize, but like the
She
man's
tried
got to
so
get
hard.
home.
She tried so hard. No one would love her.
Yeah. Well, that's just her fate. That's what happens when you're the daughter of a titan, apparently.
Apparently,
But
daughter of a titan.
regardless,
Why would that be a bad thing?
because the Greek gods were bastards. That's why. Um, but yeah, that was. I like it. I like it in general. I mean, I still have issues with Telemachus's character, but a tearful reunion with his father was always going to be necessary. The song sounds good,
Yeah,
and um, like I still don't think we needed half of Telemachus's part from the Wisdom Saga,
right.
but it's still an important inclusion, and I liked his execution.
I also want to say that one part where he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get mom," and I'm like, "Wait, mom didn't hear all the fucking screaming of fucking
Yeah,
bloodshed that was just going down? Like she's probably locked away in her chamber. She's like, no, I'm not coming out of this bitch."
yeah. I mean, the palace has been infested with men for a while, so she's probably used to some rowdiness.
That was kind of crazy.
But it's not. Yeah, she's probably like locked in her room, wondering what the hell is going on. But absolutely certain she doesn't want to leave and check it out.
It's like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna stay right here
Um,
until you guys figure it out.
yeah,
It's one or two options. She's getting they won or they didn't.
yeah. The my biggest thing though is that I feel like this album proves more than anything that the Wisdom Saga was a total waste of time. Um,
We're going there on this song.
yeah, I'm
Holy
okay.
shit!
It's not. This is why I have mixed feelings because this song has a lot of really well executed things. It's just kind of like how it fits into the greater story, which I'm kind of irked in a lot of ways. Um,
So you're just more irked that it didn't. They did the Wisdom Saga so badly that it didn't connect as well here.
well, let's really think about this. A lot of time when I talk to people about this, a common argument was that the story needed to introduce Telemachus because he was going to be an important character in the Ithaca saga.
Yeah,
Well, here's the Ithaca saga, and he's not an important character. He screwed up in the armory. I mean, that's something he did. I don't think it was really that necessary. I don't think he played a major role, honestly. He existed to get threatened, but that just results in Odysseus killing the suitors even more.
I think he's just a poor boy and no one likes him.
Yeah, and Athena, it's it's a character payoff. It I guess. Um, Still though, I don't think. Well, basically, all these beats would have worked better if the Wisdom Saga was better. But Telemachus really didn't need an introduction. There's nothing in this saga that's important about his character. Like maybe the motifs, but that's about it.
I mean, what if we had like an episode with Telemachus and his dad in the boat prior to the attack. Like that would have been a cool episode. A song like the actual meeting of the son and dad versus whatever this just happened. Like, hey, you just saw me for the first time. How are you gonna prove to me that you're my dad? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that would be more of a cooler interaction. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the Wisdom Saga needs a ton of tweaks aside from making some of the songs less cringy, in order to work better. Really, I thought about it, and really, what it could have been is you take the first two songs, Legendary, where Telemachus misses his dad, and Little Wolf, where Telemachus gets punched by the suitors. And you just make that one song because that's all it really needs to be.
We did talk about this a little bit.
So first song of the saga, Telemachus wants to be like his dad, gets punched by the suitors. Athena appears after him after he gets his ass laid out.
Yeah, and you wanted to have another Calypso song too, didn't you?
Well, I actually skipped a step. Okay, first song. Odysseus washes up on Calypso's island in a scene kind of reminiscent to how he landed on Circe's island after ruthlessness. You know, this is after Thunderbringer. It's
Yeah.
very analogous. Um, Song shows his initial interaction with Calypso, his attempts to leave the island, and failing. And then when it's really starting to settle in that he's stuck there, Calypso pries him, gets him talking. He starts talking about his son. That leads into the second song, which is Telemachus missing his dad, getting punched by the suitors, Athena appearing to him. Third song, Athena working with Telemachus, begging Athena to tell him like any way that he has to get rid of the suitors. Athena's reluctant because of the last time she helped out just a man, but eventually she feels the need to tell Telemachus that he's not just a man, he's the son of Odysseus, and Odysseus had allies. Tells him to go set sail, find King Menelaus. And if you don't know, in the original, the Odyssey begins with Telemachus going off to set sail, talk to King Menelaus, and then Menelaus starts talking about the last time he saw Odysseus, and then that's like the framing device of how he tells the story of like Odysseus leaving Troy and then it kind of goes from there. But here it's flipped around. You're getting towards the end. Athena tells Telemachus to go find King Menelaus and ask him for men to help deal with the suitors. Like his friend's palace is being harassed by unwelcome guests. His
Yeah.
buddy would help him. And that also changes something in the Vengeance Saga, because in the Vengeance Saga, when Poseidon appears to Odysseus and threatens to raise the tide so high that it would drown all of Ithaca, instead Telemachus would be at sea with loyal servants of his own palace and friends of King Menelaus. So a threat on the ocean is like right there within sight of Odysseus, essentially, which could have had stakes that were a little more closer at hand. And then also the he could have coordinated taking down Poseidon with Telemachus's fleet, and then there would be real justification for why Telemachus needed a character arc, because now Telemachus is at sea with a few hundred men and is in a position to sail to his father's aid, while at the same time serving as a powerful risk for Odysseus when Poseidon's ordering him to get in the water, because his son is right there, right in the middle of Poseidon's clutches.
Yeah.
Um,
Get in the water, he said.
and then Telemachus sets out sail to find King Menelaus, and you get another Calypso song. That's Odysseus on like Push the Edge. So there was a song in the Wisdom Saga that actually did include some of the Calypso story, and one part of it was Odysseus standing on a ledge, like debating whether or not to kill himself.
Yeah. Just
And
sat
during
back down
that, he
from the ledge
calls
one day.
out to Athena, and I feel like Athena giving Telemachus this information she's invested in the outcome, right? Now she's contributed to help the getting rid of the suitors. She's invested in what's happening in Ithaca.
Yeah.
And so there's kind of an obligation there. And paired with her regret for how things ended with Odysseus, she goes and finds Odysseus, like what's happened to him. And at that point, Calypso, this would now be two songs where Calypso is like nothing but warm, welcoming, and trying to get Odysseus to unburden himself. And now that he's like standing on the ledge, like ready to end it all, he talks about like everything that happened. And that's how Athena gets gets the story of everything that's happened to Odysseus. Because in the Wisdom Saga, it just kind of vomited motif for a little bit. They kind of convey that Athena caught up on all the events. And this time she's there to hear it from Odysseus' own mouth. And that leads to God's Games, which was the last song of the Wisdom Saga, where she talked to all the different gods that changed their opinion.
Yeah.
The only thing I change about God Games is that it would hang on the judgment of Hera and Aphrodite, and they would go to Calypso's island to see Calypso attempting to seduce Odysseus. Now, if you remember from the Circe arc, there was one part in the song where she was attempting to seduce him, and then during that song, Odysseus says this line: "Who's to say with all the mistakes I've made that they'll be the last mistakes I ever make?" Like he's kind of talking himself into making this mistake with Circe. So there's kind of already like a little seed in there in the story that Odysseus might be weak in a particular way. And then having Calypso, again, she's had two full songs now to establish how she's nothing but like warm and welcoming to Odysseus when he's in the worst time of his life. He's stuck on an island. No momentum, no immediate goal to follow, nothing to do but sit on the island and dwell on what's happened. Um,
Right.
Calypso entices him. And it's only like in that moment resisting her that Hera and Aphrodite's opinions of him change. And then he's allowed to be released from the island. All those changes together would not only make the Wisdom Saga far more enjoyable and satisfying, but then it also justifies like why Telemachus is here. And
But he's
also
here.
also on that note, um I'm not too broken up about changes from the original, mostly because I don't think the original is very satisfying to read in the modern day.
Okay.
But I think in this case, the original was very applicable to how the saga could have gone down, because the way it went was Odysseus arrives in Ithaca and he pretends to be a homeless man, and he meets up with Telemachus and reveals his identity to Telemachus. And they make a plan together to go after the suitors. It was like a big father son bonding moment. And part of that plan was Odysseus showed up to the trial, the string the bow and shoot it through the axe heads. And when none of the men could do it, he, still pretending to be a homeless man, is like, "Hey, can I give it a try?" And and the suitors are like, "Yeah, you know what? Let the homeless man give it a shot. It'll be funny." And then he does this thing. It's called girding your loins, where you like grab your clothes and you tie it in front of you, and it shows your calf muscles. He like girds his loins, and everyone in the hall is like, "Oh shit, the homeless man's ripped."
Like, oh,
And then
might be
he,
in danger here.
yeah, and then he strings the bow and fires it, and then he and Telemachus just start slaughtering them. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes from that point. But
He strings the bow, and instead of aiming down the horseshoes, he just takes a line down the
yeah,
suitors, and it just goes. You just hear people screaming.
yeah. So yeah, that's another thing, is like this didn't really show Odysseus being a warrior of the mind too much. It didn't show
He
him.
just went just brutality
Yeah,
entirely. He just went. I'm gonna just go. The Slayer.
Yeah, he didn't don the guise of the homeless man, but he also didn't. If he did coordinate with his son, the plan was really stupid. And that's the big thing. It's like coordinate. The idea of him coordinating with his son is another thing
Yeah.
that would justifies the time Telemachus gets in the Wisdom arc. But not only is it kind of vague over whether or not they did coordinate, um, the coordination was done towards a really, really dumb conclusion.
Yeah.
Like the opening of the armory, allowing them to get armed, allowing them to capture Telemachus, like,
Bad, bad, bad.
ugh. And I feel like they making it more like the original was could only be to its benefit here. Like it's super applicable. Like I still liked the idea of Odysseus hunting them down in the dark when they can't see him. There's still probably a place for that. Because if you go with my idea with the Wisdom Saga, Telemachus has men to lead, and so Odysseus can be on his own in the dark, picking them off one by one, while Telemachus leads an actual force that prevent their numbers from being a problem for
I
him.
like the idea of Odysseus doing that, like as they're like trying to run. So
Exactly.
he's like coming from the shadows as they're running from his castle, and they're like, "Oh fuck, we gotta get out of here." And they're like, "Dude, I built this castle. Like,
Yeah.
you're not getting out of here."
It
And
might have
he
also
stops
been
them.
satisfying if things could be contrived such that Telemachus gets to kill Antonius, because that would be kind of satisfying. In the Wisdom Saga, Antonius is the one that clocked Telemachus and knocked him down, and then
Interesting.
he's the one singing about killing him. So swapping things around and having Telemachus um, take Antonius down would be great. And then imagine how proud Odysseus
So,
would be of him.
why did you think Telemachus asked them to lay down the weapons and be okay?
One angle I could kind of think was that if they did work with his dad, that maybe this was Odysseus's one and only like chance to let them back out of their fate. Like choose to do the right thing and surrender to Telemachus, and he'll actually spare him.
Or else you guys are actually gonna be fucked.
Right.
Like, no, let's get him. And they're like, okay, well, there's your sealed your fate, guys.
If that was the intention, which I feel like it should be made clearer. Um, it would be interesting because in that case, allowing them to arm themselves is the true test of character because they have Telemachus at a disadvantage. So only if they really, really were committed
Just like
to being
surrendering.
evil
Yeah, like
would
they're
they do
like
it.
they armed themselves. Like, I have armed myself. I
Yeah,
surrender, kind of thing. They'd be like, all right, you know what? We can work something out here.
yeah,
But like, no, you still want to fight, and you think the odds are in your favor, and you're gonna still try to like take advantage of the situation. That's why Odysseus went
yeah,
crazy on him. You
yeah.
know,
If that
that's a funny actual trap card though.
Yeah, if that's the plan, if that's the idea, I still don't quite think it would be as satisfying as my alternate idea, but it should be more clear.
That's the yeah. That's not very warrior of the mind like.
Yeah,
That's
cuz
like
at the very least he still let them capture Telemachus, which is
yeah. That's that bad plan.
like they were announcing their intentions before they got him, and they also like didn't get him right away. There was plenty of opportunity that if Odysseus was knew this was going to happen, he could have stopped them before they got that far.
Right. Exactly.
But I mean that covers most of my gripes, so we
Perfect.
should be able to do this last one.
Next song. Woohoo!